Hello, I'm Jeremy Qualls.
And I'm Coach Ron Crawford of Brentwood High School. Welcome to this week's special Halloween edition of WCS Sports Connection.
All right, welcome to the special playoff Halloween edition. Man, we've got a lot of special guest analysts with us today. Playoffs are on. We have finished the regular season 51-9. It's been a phenomenal football year. I've got right now with me Coach Crawford. Coach Crawford, before we get to you, though, I have to say something. Shout out to the Franklin Lady Rebels soccer team. They beat the #1 nationally ranked team in the country, Houston, 2-0 in the semis, but fell short to Clarksville 1-0 in the state championship game. The Lady Rebels bring home the AAA state runner-up trophy. That's pretty good.
Well, that's something to be very, very proud of and something that their school can be very excited about. You know, we play some pretty good soccer over at Brentwood High School, too. So, you know, one conference, one goal. That's what you always say, Dr. Qualls.
Hey,
so if Brentwood
exactly
can't
right.
bring it home, we're very excited for the Lady Rebels.
Well, I'm glad that you have bought completely into the WCS Sports Conference. I appreciate those comments more than you'll ever know, Coach. But let's get right into it real quick. Speaking of one conference, one goal, 7-1 on last Friday, which brings our total overall record to 51-9 for the regular season on out-of-conference games, 3 region championships, 2 undefeated teams, Independence and Fairview, 8 playoff teams, 6 of the 8, including yourself, Coach Crawford, with a little bit of help from some of your conference buddies, get a home playoff game.
Well, yeah, you know, what we were just trying to do this year, this was about a program building year, and we wanted to make it to the playoffs, but we wanted to be the best Brentwood High School football team that we could be. And, you know, we limped kind of into it, started playing our best football at the end of the year, and here we were. We're just wanting to get into the playoffs and, you know, to get a home playoff game, #2 seed, thanks to Coach Kreisky and the Centennial Cougars. And just very proud of our football team, excited for our community, getting a home playoff game this Friday night.
Oh, let's talk about it. You go in, you play Clarksville. You've got to beat Clarksville to make sure. You were kind of on the cusp, being in and out. Had a lot of scenarios happen there. If you would have lost Rossview, Northeast, Clarksville, all were in the picture. It was going to be a mess. Probably the best you could have gotten is 4th. You come in, you beat Clarksville 33-14.
Well, you know, it took us a while, Dr. Qualls, but we finally found out who we are on offense and what we are. We're spread, and we're just going to let our quarterback, Carson Shacklet, we're going to let him make a decision. He's either going to beat you with his arm or his feet. And just did a beautiful job of it in the offensive line and the seniors and Christian LeBreche, Willie on our wide receivers, but just doing a really good job. Got to give Clint Finch, our offense coordinator, a great job. Shout out for just doing a stupendous job with our seniors and our offense football team this year. But yeah, we feel like it's the end of the year. But we got a real good grasp of what our identity offensively is.
Well, Coach Crawford, Tate couldn't be here. He sings your praises every week. I do too. I was talking about, man, all you had to do was circle the wagons numerous times all year long, Coach Crawford. Brentwood Bruins could have been dead in the water, but you fought back 6-4, 5-2 in the region, man. Can't say enough about the job you've done.
Well, you know, I hate to miss old Taterbug. He's my buddy, but you're right. We did finish strong, and so we're very excited about it. And like I said, I'm really just most happy for Mr. Kydell and our community and our school and our families and our kids.
Well, Coach Crawford, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, Brentwood beats Clarksville 33-14 to get the #2 overall seed to play Memphis Kirby. We'll speak about that in the later half of the program. But once again, Brentwood beats Clarksville 33-14. And now we're joined by Dr. Defense himself, Coach Donnie Webb, head football coach of Franklin High School, playing against Lebanon. And man, Dr. Defense, did you ever turn the dial up, because you won this game 45-0.
Well, thank you, Dr. Qualls. You know, we've been playing really well on offense the past couple weeks, but defense, we kind of been, you know, against some really good offenses. But you're right, got the shutout Friday night, and we were very, very excited about the way we finished off the season 8-2.
Well, you got back on the horse, you know, Mount Juliet the game before. It could have been an easy hangover game, if you will, trap game. Everybody's kind of down a little bit from that loss and not winning the region championship. But now you've got yourself in position. You're going to come in as the #2 seed right there. You're going to host Germantown. We'll talk about that later when Tate gets in here. Tate's behind it if you didn't know where he was. I know he told you he was going to be here. But you get the big win, 45-0. Can you talk about your team right now? What kind of where we are mentally going into the playoffs?
I think we're really good. We had a tough loss against Mount Juliet, but I thought we bounced back last week against. We had to have a good win against Lebanon. It was a game that we could. We played really well offense. We've been playing well all week on offense. Dan Winfrey does such a great job with the play action and coaching our quarterbacks. We got two quarterbacks, and Carter Hendry and Wes Patterson, and that's not always easy to do. And Dan just does such a great job with it, and we just really proud of the way our receivers are playing. But I think we're a team that we know what we're about offensively, and we can score points on you, and we're getting better defensively. That Mount Juliet game, it was really close, and that's a really good football team. So I think our mindset's really good going into the playoffs.
Well, do you have anything to say about the Lady Rebels and the soccer team and what that brings to the culture of the Franklin Rebels?
Well, I wish we could get one of them to come out and kick field goals and extra points for us. I think that'd be a weapon for us in the kicking game.
Well, Dr. Defense, we greatly appreciate you joining us on the show, filling in for Tate today. As you know, Coach Crawford was in here before you. Man, you guys are class acts. I can't wait to see what happens in the playoffs. Franklin's going to go in as the number 2 seed. They beat Lebanon this past Friday night, 45-0. And now we're joined by the old Sparty head coach himself, Coach Brian Coleman. Summit Spartans, big win over Columbia Central, 57-6 this past Friday. Man, not only that, you are in the playoffs, most home wins ever. What's your thoughts about that, Coach Coleman?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're excited. First playoff in school history, and got a tough opponent in Cane Ridge, but we're just really excited. Yes, sir.
Oh, well, big game. You beat Columbia Central. Obviously, they don't have a win. They're struggling, but that's okay. You got to get that win in. You come in as the number 4 seed. It's a little unfortunate the way your region bylaws read right there. You beat Shelbyville. You lost to Stewart's, and all of a sudden Shelbyville finishes above both. That's kind of a crazy scenario there with the overall wins versus the head-to-head and region wins. But let's talk about Friday night. Columbia Central, you hold them to 6 points, 57 that you score. Ty Carter, 4 carries, 130 yards. Peyton Craig, 10 carries, 110 yards. Tyler Palmer, 4 carries, 106 yards. Dalton Fisher, 79 yards. I mean, it just goes on and on. 3 different Spartans over 100 yards.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's a credit to our offensive line and the way they were blocking, and our quarterback, Michael Zakreski, getting up there and managing us. But all 3 of those guys are guys that run very hard and unselfish and block when they don't get the ball. So we were very pleased of them. Our goal all year long is to be better than we were last year. And we had that big win against Columbia at the end of the regular season last year, sir. And we came back and finished off, had a really good game against them to go into the playoffs this year. And so we've taken that step, and it's just been fun to watch. Really proud of our seniors and our juniors who've been with the program the past couple years and seeing the fruits of their labor, sir.
Well, quarterbacks, he had 2 throws, went 1 for 2, 50%. That's a pretty good percentage, right, Coach Coleman?
Well, I saw beginning of the show, you and Tate were talking about we were going to be the Eric Coleman show. But
that was the first of the year, right?
First of the year.
Right.
We like to run the ball. We can throw it when we have to, but Michael's just he's doing a great job of managing the offense. And when you got 3 guys that are rushing for 100 yards, not a whole lot of reason to throw the ball.
And I agree with you, Coach Coleman, on that.
Coach Mac McCurry taught me that.
Yeah, well, Coach Coleman, I give you a hard time about this all the time, about the vertical passing game. You're a wing tee offense. But let's look at this. 319 points to 175 all year long. That's plus 144. You've got Ty Carter at 1,259 yards. He's going to break the all-time Old Sparty record.
Yes, sir.
Dalton Fisher at 800 yards.
Yes, sir.
Tyler Palmer at 703. If you could win 2 playoff games, you're looking at 2, maybe even 3. It's just according to how it goes down. 1,000-yard rushers this year.
Well, we're going to take it one game at a time, but
sure you are.
that would be something. There's been a lot of firsts this year for Old Sparty, and we're very proud of it. But we got a very tough opponent in Cane Ridge, and that's what we're worried about right now. But we know to be successful, we're going to have to be able to run the ball, and I think both Dalton and Ty and the rest of them will. Peyton, they'll be ready to play on Friday, sir.
Coach Coleman.
Yes, sir.
You've built something from nothing.
Yes, sir.
I know that's.
Thank you, sir.
You have to go back 2 years when you started this process. You won your first ever home game last year, first ever region contest. You missed playoffs by 1. Tate couldn't be here. He sends his regards and wanted to pat you on the back, talking about what a good job you did of making the playoffs. We're proud of you. You know I'm proud of you on making the playoffs.
Yes.
And here you are, 7 wins for the season. You literally, if you look back,
Yes.
you don't want to talk about spilled milk, but, man, it could have been close to even more wins than that. That's something to build on. You're going to go into this playoffs. I know it's probably not the playoff game that you want off the bat with Cane Ridge, but you know what? You could beat these guys.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. We're going to go out there. We're going to win.
You can't be satisfied that you're just in.
Nope, we're not. Plan's to go there and win.
Well, Coach,
keep on moving on.
Coach Coleman, I greatly appreciate you joining us. Once again, Old Sparty big winners, Columbia Central 57-6. And also, they're going to be in the playoffs. And here to talk about their big win over Laverne, Indy head coach Scott Blade. Coach Blade, thank you so much for joining us today, man. I'm telling you, it's kind of funny. Independence going for their 25th win in a row. They beat Laverne 56-19, and all I say is come from behind, because you were actually losing at one point in time in this game. I think people have gotten used to you winning so much, they don't know what to do when you get behind.
Well, yeah, we did. Sometimes I think it's fun to get a game like that. But you're right, we haven't had to play from behind very much. But we did Friday night, but I was proud of the way our team competed and reacted and came back, and we really started doing our game. Dr. Qualls, really, we're competing against ourselves. We're trying to. I know it sounds cliche.
Right.
And all that, but we're really trying to be the best Independence football team that we can be. And if we do that, we feel like we can go up and line up against anybody every Friday night and win. And so far, it's worked pretty well for us. But Laverne had a lot of athletes and 5 stars, 4 stars. But we felt like if we did our game, we had a chance to be successful. It did have to come from behind, but very proud of the way we reacted.
I mean, let's be honest. You were only behind for about 6 total minutes in the game, but people, start to lose their minds. And I can't get over the fact. Let's just go ahead and talk about it, Coach Blake, because I know you don't pay attention to the numbers game. You can only. I know I've heard you say many times you only take care of things that Independence can take care of. But Let's talk about the media for a second, man. You can't get any love from the media whatsoever. You're always going to be second, third, fourth in the polls behind the Oakland teams and behind the Brentwood academies and probably CPA if they go and don't win another game the rest of the season. But you've won 25 games in a row. And people, for some reason, just, Cane Ridge, 10-0, Cane Ridge, 10-0. Is it the fact that everybody's so complacent with the fact that you've won so many games in a row? Or is it okay for the other teams to kind of join, share that wealth of winning? I know you're congratulatory towards them, but come playoff time when you play those guys, are we going to prove the statement?
Well, I watched the show earlier in the year, and if you listen to your co-host, the guy who's usually on here, Smyrna was unbeatable.
That's true. He did have Smyrna against
you. And we all know how that worked out. So, again, good for them. They've got great coaches and great players and great schools. And we're really, like I said, we're just worried and concerned about Independence. And if we go out there and do the best we can, we feel like we can play with anybody, and we welcome any of those schools. We're getting ready to come up. I know you'll be a big part of this, but we're getting ready to come up on a new classification schedule. So, we'd be open to playing any of those guys. But playoff time, if we just play our game, we feel like we've got a chance to do some really good things on any Friday night.
Okay, Coach, let's talk about Laverne. 56-19, senior night. Man, can you say enough about Landon Guidry, the game changer that he is, the Mississippi State commit, Coach? He comes in, 9 rushes for 116 yards, 1 touchdown. He gets also has 2 catches for 31 and another touchdown. And the stats don't even show what he brings to the table on defense.
Well, yeah, like I told you at the beginning of the year, those who remember my Hillsborough teams, Eric Gordon. Landon's our Eric Gordon. That's the biggest compliment that I can give to a player. And Landon's kind of our Eric Gordon. He leads us on offense. He leads us on defense, special teams, blocks punts, pressures the punter. He plays at a very high motor, and just a real pleasure to coach, and then our quarterback now is really playing at a high level and hitting our guys. And,
We've talked about that in the past. You haven't even played your best game yet. We feel like you're getting to the point
well,
where
we hope not.
You're just about to peak. Hines, 12 of 21, 160 yards total, 3 touchdowns. You can't say enough about Hines, the way he stepped in behind Andrew from last year, Andrew Bunch. And, yeah, thank you. And, you got Sheffield out there. You've got Scurry out there. Things are looking good offensively. But let's talk about the defense. To hold Laverne to 19 points. And, Hunter Dupree, this guy, senior linebacker right now, kind of one of your staples on defense, man. What is the defense doing right now to bring your team to a high level?
Well, we feel like effort, playing with great effort and discipline. Discipline's a big part of it, and just believing in what we do. Like I said, we keep saying it, but we just want to be the best independents we can be. And if that's what we do, we feel like we're going to be really successful. And Hunter, and we got some great athletes on the defensive side of the ball too. Dempke,
Hunter Dupree,
Hunter.
We can go down the list.
Yeah.
Montreal Steele in the backfield. Now, in the secondary. I see.
And they've played a lot of games. We played 15 games last year. They've had experience, I guess, more than anything.
Well, Coach, we're not going to keep you up long because I know you got to get back to
Dr. Qualls.
Your PE class. And I always ask you this: you have your ring and you have your 2015 state championship pullover on. Number 30. That's what we're looking for, right? Or is the next game more important?
Well, the next game's most important, but the goal is to win them all. So right now we're focused on a very, what we think, very good Gallatin team. They got a great running back in the stats, but we're focused on that, and we feel like if we play up to our capability, we will get a win. And yes, we'd be one step closer to a return trip to Cookeville. And I hope to see you on our sidelines again if we do make that trip.
Of course, I'll be there. One conference, one goal, Coach Blade, always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, Coach Blade. Big win, like I said, Indy over Laverne, 56-19. When we come back from break, we'll finish out last Friday night's game, and we'll look at the playoff picture. Stay with us. Hello and welcome back to this playoff Halloween edition of WCS Sports Connection. Shout out to all of our guests, Coach Crawford. You wouldn't believe it, Tate. Tate's finally back. Tate, where have you been, by the way?
Sorry I'm late, Jeremy. You know how Highway 96 is coming back from Fairview. I've been at Snappy's Pizza for the Coach Chris Hughes show. Talking about the 10-0 season, and just took a little bit longer than I thought. I apologize.
Well, I come in that road every day. I guarantee you this: do not take the velvet ropes down at Snappy's, because that's going to be the VIP lounge this Friday night.
Packed house.
And they're going to move to 11-0. So let's talk about Fairview. Hey, you wouldn't believe it. You missed Ron Crawford. You missed Dr. Defense. The Blade Runner was here. Coleman was here. It was great, man. They filled in for you, but I'm glad you're back.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Let's talk about Fairview real quick. That brings us to the play of the week. This week's play of the week. It's Cam Harris-Lusk, quarterback of Fairview, on his elusive play against Harpeth.
All right. Beathard in the backfield. Still up under center. Play action fake. Number 45 chasing him. Harris-Lusk on the run. Take it and run. He does. He's still moving. He's still running. He's still going. Touchdown! Oh. Touchdown on the last play of the third quarter. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Boy, did they bite on that play action, but I got to give Harpeth Indians credit. Their coverage downfield took away the pass. He was being chased furiously by number 45, one Drew Ease for Harpeth, and he just took off, and he's been reluctant a little bit to do that, looking for the pass, but man, he made people miss. Woo. Last play of the third quarter. Jackets extend the lead to 38, that would be 39 to 11 for for the Harpeth Indians. Oh, my goodness.
And as you can see in that play, that just sums up the season that Fairview's had right now. They moved to 10-0, first time since 1979 that they've gone undefeated. The 79 team was in attendance there. Friday night, I was there. Great atmosphere, packed house. I'm going to tell you what, Fairview's no joke. This team can legitimately have a run in this playoffs. I can see a Stratford-Fairview playoff scenario happening.
Well, that would be a really neat one, because if it is, it means that they're both 12-0 going in that game. But that play right there is what we've been talking about with Cam Harris-Luss all year long. He brings a different dimension to it. They run a little play action. It breaks down. He moves the pocket with his feet and then pulls it down and runs it. I mean, you can tell he's not a sophomore anymore. He's 10 games in.
I was say, here's the scary thing. The kid's just a sophomore. Well, Fairview moves on, beating Harpeth, who also came to that game, if you know. They came into that game 9-1.
That's right.
And ranked whatsoever. You know, everybody was thinking, man, this is going to be close. 56-11. They win the 3A crown, region crown there for those guys. Fairview, man, what a great year they had. Coach Hughes, hey, continue. You got your booth named after you at Snappy's. Your USAG snocks on. Don't change a thing, man. Keep this thing rolling. Another region championship game was also on the line. Centennial, Henry County. A lot of the doubters out there, a lot of naysayers thought there's no way Henry County is going to lose 2 in a row, and there's no way that Centennial could ever duplicate what Coach Rector did, go 9-1, and they did it. And they did it convincing fashion. They beat them 34-7 to win the region crown 2 years in a row for OCU.
Unbelievable season, unbelievable game. That's a tough road trip. It's always hard to win at Paris, and they went and they took care of business. You know, and one thing I want to make sure we talk about, you know, the offensive stats always get in there. Zion Lee had another huge game, over 200 yards. Devious Chrisman intercepted the quarterback 3 times.
That's our guy. We've been looking for him all year. Devious, welcome to the party, and it's not over. Well, he said all year long he was going to make a difference in the game. Coach Kreisky actually texted me immediately after the game, informing that Chrisman had done that. I'm proud for Devious. He is going to go to the next level. He's going to probably play that position at the next level. I look forward to seeing how that works. But congratulations to them, like you talk about, 34-7. Zion Lee right now leading the way offensively for those guys. But in this game, Jariel Wilson, you talk about him every week. 10 carries, 139 yards.
The super sophomore. He's a young man. He's got a very bright future. Matthew Thurston, another guy that they can really count on in the running game. But right, Jariel, he's Zion's kind of the, I guess, remember back when we had Thunder and Lightning with the Titans? Zion's the Thunder, Jariel's the Lightning.
Well, congratulations to those guys for winning the crown. I cannot say enough to Coach Matt Kreisky, man.
Great job.
Phenomenal job. Don't let this thing here, one conference, one goal, end this thing. Somebody's got to end it in the semis. Hopefully it's Indy Centennial round 2 once again in the semis this year like it was last year. Ravenwood, big win for those guys. They needed this win. Antioch, they beat Antioch on senior night 41-12. Coach Westman made a few wrinkles and adjustments there. Here's one that sticks out to me. Carter Nelson, over 100 yards rushing for that game.
Well, we've talked about it all year. At some point, they have to find a running game. Looks like they have. Good timing going into the playoffs. We've talked about this for a few weeks now. I don't think anybody is real excited about getting Ravenwood as a home playoff game because, as we know, I mean, when that offense is clicking, they can rack up yards and they can rack up points. So, good win, a win they should have gotten. They took care of business. Looks like they're playing better going into the playoffs.
Remember this name going into playoffs, Taj Williams on the defensive side of the ball, playing extremely well for them. This is going to be fun. We've got them all in. Page did not have a very good night. They got beat 51-0 to Marshall County. That's not a slap on Page. We knew going in. Marshall County is one of those teams that everybody's picking to be one of the favorites in 4A. It was a tough game for them. Wasn't their best game. No reason to even go in trying to in the second half. The game was pretty much out of hand, running clock. But get yourself prepared. You're going to be the 2 seed going into the playoffs with a very much winnable game in that first round. So that brings us into the playoff picture. Let's start in the 5A section, Tate. Let's start in the 5A section right now. Independence 10-0, the number 1 seed, going to host throughout there until the semifinal round, which will go to the lower end of the bracket, which the number 1 seed on that side is Cane Ridge. So let's look at Independence against the 6-4 Gallatin team. Go, real quick.
They've got the leading rusher in the mid-state, in Jordan Mason. He got a little dinged up last week. Don't know how healthy he'll be Friday night, but they're a good football team. For a 4 seed, good team, but I think Independence, 25 in a row.
Old Sparty 7-3 playing Cane Ridge 10-0. Nobody thinks they win this game. I think this is a very winnable game.
Control the ball on offense, no turnovers, no big play on defense is the recipe for the Spartans.
Like we said earlier, Summit is the 4 seed playing the number 1 seed. They could possibly have a quarterfinal matchup against Indy if they make it there. Going into the lower part of the bracket, which would be a semifinal game, would be the overall number 1 at the bottom half, Centennial 9-1 against Memphis Bolton 5-5.
Need to take care of business, run the ball, same thing. Don't turn it over. Don't give them some big breaks, and I think Centennial will be fine.
The number 2 seed of that group is Brentwood 6-4 playing Kirby.
Same thing. Keep. They're playing very well right now. Not turning the ball over on offense. Carson Shacklet playing well at the quarterback position. Keep that up.
All right, moving to the 6A side. Ravenwood coming in as the number 5 seed. They're 5-5 playing Houston out of Memphis 4-5.
Out of those teams out of the 6A in the West bracket, I think that's one of the ones
good
they
draw.
want. Long trip, but a team that they can beat.
Great draw for them. And the Doctor defense himself, Franklin, number 2 seed, 8-2, playing Germantown, who's 3-7. They're coming in as the number 4 seed.
Doctor defense is known for 2, maybe even 3 weeks. That's who they were going to get. Something tells me he's already been working on them. Not good for Germantown.
Well, they have also a pretty good draw. If you look down through there, they will have to face Whitehaven. Somebody will have to face Whitehaven just like last year, the road that Ravenwood had, before they get into the championship game. Oakland, Maryville, one of those guys are going to be eliminated as well up top. So we've got a shot to get to Cookeville. We've got a good situation, a good scenario, and I wish them both the best of luck. 4A side of things, Page, we talked about them just a while ago. Coming in, Page is at 6-3 right now, playing against Chattanooga Central, who's 3-7 as the number 2 seed.
The Purple Pounders. I think this is who they wanted. They just wanted to have a home playoff game.
Actually, I wanted to play East Hamilton to that payoff game.
Right,
from
but
last year.
I think that East Hamilton's a little more athletic. So yes, they wanted the payback. But between the two teams, I think this is the one they wanted to see. Page will – don't let the Marshall County game get you down too bad. Marshall County's really good. They'll bounce back.
They are really good. As a matter of fact, they're probably really good in any of the classifications that we've mentioned up to this point. But you have an opportunity to get yourself pretty deep in the playoffs. Let's look at that real quick. They beat Chattanooga Central, pardon me. You're going to get the winner of the Stone Memorial Spring Hill game. That's going to be an interesting matchup. You get Spring Hill in round 2. That was a close one.
Yes.
That's a winnable game. You know that, to get yourself in the quarterfinals, man, and have an opportunity, one more shot at those guys in the quarterfinals to move on into the semis. That would be incredible.
That's all you can ask for.
To get there. All right, last but not least, Fairview, 10-0 right now, going to play East Nashville, 4-6, coming in as the 4 seed.
I think they handle round 1 pretty easily. More than likely after that, they'll get Good Pasture, a team that they can win. So 10-0, I think this team can go very far in the playoffs.
Well, we worried about last year.
Firepower.
Well, I tell you what, I couldn't be more proud. I got to say this to all of our guys. What's your thoughts on all the teams getting in playoffs?
Well, WCS Sports Conference, one goal. We got 2 state championships, the Independence Eagles 25-0. We got Prep Ticks, we got Adidas, we got Final Fours, we got them all. Hey, we got everybody. Hey, it's the most exciting conference to be in. We got the Wilcos. It's just really exciting. We got Barbara Campbell in 11 in a row in the state championships. We got all 9 teams in the play. Well, if you count Owensville, the number 1 rated JV program in all of America, it's just exciting to be a part of it. WCS Sports Conference, second to none.
Now you've heard it from 2. Jeremy Qualls is here today on Sports Connection. I don't have anything else to say. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween playoff edition. See you next time.